Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Netters Network Thursday Things. Before I bring in our special guest, who has been very long awaited, let me introduce my co-host for the night. You know him as that guy at the end of the bar, Karatan the Klingon cleric. It's like he's smiling at me.
Yep.
You also know him as the love of my life, Troy Pacelli. How you doing tonight, sweetie, and what you sipping on?
I got to be honest with you that love of your life is probably the best thing I could be known as. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Bit of a headache, so I'm having a Rockstar Pure Zero energy drink, just trying to shake the headache. But
yeah, I know what that is. It's like I don't know if we've just been around the same things or what, but I also have a headache. But for me, my headache is more like it feels like somebody actually hit me in the head, you know, so not like a normal headache, but it just feels like somebody like smacked me in the head or something. So yeah.
And it wasn't me. I didn't do it.
No, it wasn't you, because you know I'd hit back.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Well, let's not keep everyone waiting. Let me bring in tonight our special guest, Baron Orman Tagge. How you doing tonight, sweetie? And what are you sipping on?
I got water, and I'm doing fine, and you wouldn't be here if she hit your head back. I mean, that's just it.
Yeah, I may be small, but I'm feisty.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Right. We wouldn't be talking if you did that. So, and
well, if you notice, my title says security and bouncer.
That's right, exactly. That's why he commented on that in the backstage.
Yep. I'm behaving myself, and that's why I'm drinking water. So I'm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm teetotaling.
Yeah, I'm drinking water and an energy drink, so...
I don't want an energy drink at this time of day. And, I was highly suspicious, but now I know how Troy got on this job. He's sleeping with the host. I knew it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is true. I can't... You're absolutely right. Oh, man. But, yeah.
I mean, I was getting worried here because I'm looking for messages from Netter, and I keep on hitting the little tab up there, and it's a tab that goes X. So that really makes me uncomfortable hitting a tab.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what's Troy going to say? And more importantly, that's why the wife hit me over the head with a frying pan. What's this woman that you're looking at on this X? Like,
on X, exactly right.
Well, it's like, I went to go give you the link to be in the green room, and I'm sitting there going, where's Twitter?
Yeah.
And I keep looking for the little blue bird. And I'm like looking, because I got a bunch of tabs open. And so I'm going down each one, and then I get to the one that's an X, and it says Twitter. I'm like, X? So I click on it, and I'm like, oh, this is Twitter with the new name. And I heard something about that, and I thought it was a joke, because it's Elon Musk's favorite letter of the alphabet. So it's like, okay, seriously? Whatever, dude. But at least I was able to find you and give you the link.
Well, I think it is a joke. Actually, I wouldn't put it past Elon Musk to be trolling Zuckerberg.
He is absolutely the king of trolls. He really is. That's kind of why the people that like him really, really like him.
Well, it's like I was reading that he was trying to get PayPal to rename their site X.com and got fired for it. So they're like, it sounds like a porn site. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, these jokes run deep, I tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, before we get too far into our interview of the evening, let's say hello to the chat.
Hello to the chat.
Hello, chat.
Look at all those people. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, first, of course, we have our guest. See, too exciting. I hope he's entertaining.
I don't know that guy. I don't.
Then we have Lady Miss saying good evening. And I'm sounding scratchy to me. Do I sound scratchy to anyone else?
Yeah, kind of got me going in and out kind of thing.
Oh, that's weird. It was fine a minute ago. Okay, then we have Big Al Presents. Have a great stream.
Boost the Matagain, Starfleet.
Let's see, Pacific 414. Hello all. Scroll down. Lady Miss dropping all those links. Thank you so much, Speed, for doing that. There's that last call guy.
Yeah.
Of course, this one's better.
Aww.
We've been married February, 31 years.
Yep.
Next Thursday.
Yep.
You're still alive. Good job, man.
She hasn't smothered me in my sleep, so I must be doing okay.
And there's deleted scenes.
I use a CPAP. I can't get straight.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah.
Continuing Chronicles. Just in time.
And I'm wondering, Continuum Chronicles, I'm wondering if you should make it Continuum Chronicles with a K, so it'll still be CK.
Ah.
See?
DJ Ronnie G.
KK. Just don't go KK.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, that's not good.
Did I say Pacific 414? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I think I just jumped. We got Connie Cleary saying hello to everyone.
Yeah, you can just ignore that Pacific 414 guy.
Boss.
And I think that's everybody. If I missed you, please let me know because I have to drop my hi, sweeties, and say hello to you.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't lurk. At least stop in and say hi.
Yeah. If you don't, DJ Ronnie G will start putting in the chat how turtles breathe through their butts. So it's a joke. It's a
Do they really?
joke. It's true. Yeah, they do.
Is that true?
Yeah, they can breathe through their butt. Yeah.
Kind of makes sense, right? Because they have to go down in order to get food, and their butts are pointing up. So yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But boy, do they have bad breath! I tell you.
So are you able to check the connection for that because both of us are like kind of going in and out.
Feel free to.
Hey, Mike, I might hoist the flag up over here too.
There's nothing else.
Second conquest after your show.
Okay, well, let's start with the usual questions. How did you get started, and what made you want to make a channel?
Okay. Well, I got the first part about what made me get doing the channel. That's a good.
Yeah, it's like what made like how did you get started, and what made you say, "Hey, I want to do a channel"?
I was talked into it by my family, believe it or not. They kept on always saying, "You should do a YouTube channel. You know so much things." It's like, I listen, I'm SMRT, okay? Yeah, I'm barely functional here, folks.
SMRT.
But now my kids, my wife, they go, "Yeah, you should do it." Especially the fact that I was always mocking the kids for watching YouTube. You know, it's like, PewDiePie and all these other ones. And I just was insistently, mocking them.
Be the YouTube you warn your kids about.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happens. I am now. I mean, boy, I tell you what. But it took a while. I mean, for me, YouTube, my idea of watching wasn't shows, but people always put these clips up, and you start going down these rabbit holes where you're watching ident closes for the BBC the night Diana died, and stuff like that around there. It's like this video history book opened up, and my big complaint is nobody knew how to do the volume because the volume was always seemed to be way too low.
Right.
So I didn't really think much of YouTube as anything more than that, and then hearing that these people are, this PewDiePie guy and all that, it's like, what the devil's all this about? With all that, and of course, naturally, as a father, you have to make fun of it to your kids. They can't go on skate. Even if you do secretly like it, you got, it's all part of being a parent, especially in my book. Well, I started watching some stuff. I don't know what happened. I was just kind of watching some stuff. Came across this guy. He had all these inside things about what's going on at Disney and all that, and that people are getting fired right away and all that. And
WDW Pro?
No. Actually, this guy was a true zero in my opinion. And he kind of hey, quiet dogs. Duchess, I am telling the story the way it is. No, I'm not embellishing the story. No, I'm not embellishing the story. But as it goes, a while later, I ran across Doomcock. It was the Friday night, his Friday Night Frolics. So it was this entertaining show, and of course, then he has other stuff, and it's like, boy, this guy really works it. this guy really works it. And I started meeting people in the community, through the chats and such, and it started nagging me. Well, maybe I should, but what am I going to do? I don't want to be Doomcock. I don't want to be Gary. I don't want to be any of the other people out there. I want to be me. And how can I approach it? And it's like my channel sat. I had everything set up, and it sat, and it sat, and it sat because I'm going, what the heck do I want to do? And luckily enough, I was, kindly invited on like Brandon the Anime Guy when he was Go 13, and started making guest appearances on some of their shows. It's like, wow, this is back when I was doing broadcasting. This is exciting me again. This is like when I was sitting in a dark studio and talking into the night, type of stuff. When I was a DJ.
Right.
No, you're not a DJ. You're a personality. No, I'm there's no personality about this. I'm a DJ. And and I really started enjoying it. So I finally figured out what it was, and actually, yes, I do break down and see. I did copy somebody when I did my 5 minute videos, which I have to start, and I'm going to start doing it again here very quickly. I took it from Harlan Ellison when he was doing his watching segments on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it's like, and he would just be talking about various stuff. And it's usually about stuff from the past. And so many people today and I'm going to be harsh on this, that call themselves fans, have no idea what they're fans of.
Right.
They really, really don't. And they don't understand why this stuff is really affecting us. And so it's like, okay, well, I just started out as like, you are a real DJ. It's in your name. Once you got in your name, you're a DJ.
Yeah.
And so with that, that's the approach I started to have with it. But I wanted to take a couple steps more, and I thought, well, what if I started? And that, of course, I was basically calling it at that time as fade in, making fun of KK and such like that. But then I started like Baron After Dark. It was our talk show, my talk show. I want to bring that back also again. Where it's kind of like what we're doing here, just talking to fellow YouTubers, but we're not necessarily talking about the topics. Why is why is it? What influenced it? Why are you a fan? Because you start seeing different facets of who you're watching, and you can see that there's, you like the person, but now there's really more stuff about this person that really, okay, I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting, and so on, and base it off of like the old Tonight Show, the original Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, where it was Johnny's show, but the guests were the stars, and it wasn't about let's go out there and try to grandstand the guests like they try to do today and mug shots, and I don't know. They're just today's talk show people are horrible. They're just garbage. Give me the Tom Schneiders. I mean, he's fun to watch back in the day. Of course, Johnny, even Jay and David Letterman in the day, but. How those stars have fallen. It's like, okay, well, let's have it there. When people were on there, they say, well, I feel so bad. I was talking all the time. I say, no, you're the guest. You're the star. I want you to talk. This is the time for me to shut up and you talk, because everyone's expecting me to do my shtick all the time that I usually do on other shows and such. It's like, no, this is a different venue. And I think that's one thing a lot of YouTubers don't understand, how to switch up their game. That, okay, doing this, I can be outrageous. Like, before being on Smoking Patriot, it was absolutely outrageous, crazy, wild. Here, I'm more the basic approach of why it is. It's not, obviously dropping jokes, but again, the venue has changed. This is more of an information questioning from the police detectives on where I was on a certain night. And one is a good cop, one's a bad cop. Which one is the good one? Which one's the bad one? I just want to know right off the bat here. Is it you, Nitter? Are you the good one?
I'm always good.
Okay, we'll leave that right there, boys and girls.
She's the quiet, dangerous one. I'm the I'm the loud yip dog.
Well, yeah, and that's just it. The quiet ones are the more dangerous ones. They're the ones that are analyzing everything. They're listening to it. It's like, if you saw me in person and I was at an event, I probably would not say something for the for a longest time, because I'm reading the room. I'm reading the people that I'm with, before I go out there and start shooting my mouth off. And people forget to do that because it's all about them. It's narcissism. And that goes right here with YouTube. You got to be careful, not let that narcissism overrun you. Yeah, you're out there. You are people are following you, but there's always a bigger fish out there.
Yeah.
And the best way to grow is to be yourself. Never change. I mean, obviously, like change for the situation, but not change the core of what you are. And there's a lot of YouTubers that have that problem out there. They start getting somewheres and they get a little too full of themselves and start leaving what made them popular. And it's the same thing with radio stars, same thing with TV stars, movie stars. I mean, anybody in here. YouTubers, we need to have our egos in check and have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the big thing.
You made me think of two things in what you were just sharing there, Baron. First, I say go with even if you're homaging or stealing from someone else, go ahead and do it, because let's face it, Harlan Ellison isn't going to complain anymore, right? But
I met him a few times. Boy, did he complain.
Yes, that's absolutely true. But he complained in all the ways that I liked. So, so I super appreciated that. I met him in person at one con here in Chicago, and it was great. I mean, it was a small, intimate con, so it was really nice to kind of sit down and talk with him.
Which con was that? Was I with you?
It would have been. I'm trying to remember. It was one of the ones we were doing the Klingon thing at. I think it was, what was it called?
Those ones
it's one of the ones that isn't operating anymore because they kind of fell apart.
Oh, okay. Like the big bust?
Yeah, but not quite like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was one of these local fan cons, but and that was the nice thing about him, because he was this big time sci-fi writer, but he was not. So full of himself that he wouldn't go to these small, intimate cons where the fans were, That's,
no, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I met him at two what you would call kind of smallish cons, 98 in Madison for MadCon. And, and as I sit back and say, if you go to a convention and Harlan Ellison's there, if you do not come back with a Harlan story, you didn't go to a convention.
Yeah.
And we have a Harlan Ellison story. We show up, my former wife, friend of ours, who's a big Harlan fan. And we arrive in Madison and we go to the hotel to register. And again, it's a small one. And you have Neil Gaiman, you have Peter David, you have Timothy Zahn, Stephen Furst, of course, Harlan is there. So, but it's so nice, quiet, intimate all together. And basically the guests are given a lot of courtesy, not crowded upon unless needed. And we go into the room where we get our badges, and there's Harlan in the corner, and of course his tradition of writing a short story while he's at a convention type of thing and posting it on the board as he goes along.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hey, look, there's Harlan. Okay, great. We get everything in, and we start walking out of that room. And my former wife turns to me, she goes, man, I'm dying of thirst. Out of nowhere, this hand comes out and grabs her shoulder, and basically she turns. Another hand comes out and shoves forward this bottle of water. And He goes, ask, and ye shall receive.
Nice.
Gets it to her, starts walking off, and she's standing. He turns over her shoulder and goes, hey, don't worry, I don't have trench mouth. And I'll go to a bookstore. And, that's one of our Harlan stories.
That's great.
Just to let you know, Peter David wrote a book, Mr. Sulu Grabbed My Ass. I just got a copy of it the other day, and it's basically about, kind of biographical about, various stages of his life. And, of course, one section is dedicated to Harlan. He writes about an event that happened at that convention in that book. It's the guava paste controversy. And I was there to see the whole thing. They say, as Peter Davis says, there's more people who say they were there than actually that attended. And I was there. I was sitting right next to Timothy Zahn when it happened. So
Nice. There you go. So that brings us to, and this will lead into the story I alluded to back in the green room. So your name, Netter and I were struggling with it, and you informed me in the back it's pronounced correctly, Baron Orman Tagge, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you were going to be on with us a couple weeks ago, and as I was vamping, I was expressing my my Star Wars, specifically Marvel Comics Star Wars knowledge, and referencing where I knew the name from and where I knew the iconography of your character. But you want to share with the audience how you came to that and how that became your personage on the YouTubes.
Well, there it is. The Carmine Infantiano drawing was the artist for a lot of the run of that early Star Wars and even post Empire Strikes Back a little bit of a character. And yeah, Doomcock used to call me Taggy. Now it's, he calls me Tag. Ryan Roger Athay keeps on calling me Taggy, and he won't let up on that. I'll get him one of these days. Reason why? Well, that's just it. It was like going through. It's like, what do I want to be? It's like, I'm vain enough. I don't mind my face being seen and all that. I don't mind anybody knows who I really am. In fact, Mexican Iron Man outed me on the show I was interviewing him, which is fine because really, I never make any secret of who I am. Right. But it's like any many radio personalities or what. It's good to sometimes go with a, nom de plume or a moniker or whatever. So that your name is. Wolfman Jack here, spinning the platter. I tell you what, we're going to play all into the evening there. So pop into your cars, go up and down the street, grab that girl beside you in your hot rod as you go just cruising, give her a little squeeze. I tell you what. Oh, yeah. So it's like, you gotta have a little shtick to kind of go above it all. Yeah. And so many Star Wars characters are overused by YouTubers out there, obviously, in the images and such. So I thought, well, one of my favorites was basically Baron Tagge, or Baron Orman Tagge, the full name. Right. The head of the Tagge family, cousin of the general that was on board the Death Star in the first movie. Yes, that's right. Episode 4, I call it the first movie, whether you like it or not, folks. And I go, I always loved this character because this was a time when writers actually had to really write hard. Lucas didn't want the Empire really involved at all during that series because he didn't know which way they were going to go for Empire Strikes Back. So lo and behold, what did they have to do? They had to expand that universe. EU, everybody. Bring in all these other planets, bring in these other villains and adversaries to face, whether it's Crimson Jack on down. And of course, well, we got to have something that's really a threat. They came up with Baron Tagge, and not only he's all upset about the rebellion and wanting to serve good graces with the Emperor, but he has a personal gripe against Vader. And it's like, this is a really complex character. I always liked this character. Oh, the hell with it. I'll take it. I'll use it, and I'll go with it because it's unique enough, especially if I use the full name. It stands out a little bit more. So instead of having, Star Wars Superfan 84 out there, it's Baron Orman Tagge. It's like you can't be confused with somebody else. Yeah. I always felt like, when I was reading the Heir to the Empire series, and I'm reading about Grand Admiral Thrawn, I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of the Baron from Marvel Comics, right? Because he was the same kind of thing. He was trying to ingratiate himself to the Emperor, but kind of looked down a little bit on Vader. You see the same thing too with during Shadows of the Empire with Prince Xizor. I was like, oh, these writers had to have been inspired at least a little bit by the Baron. So, as I was expressing that I knew the character, but I realized I only knew the character from print because of, Marvel Comics. So it's like, unless you hear someone else say the name out loud, you're not 100% positive. And the story I was going to tell was I was reading the Frank Herbert Dune series long before there was a David Lynch movie, right? So that was the first time
I heard the desert dweller's name said out loud. And I was like, oh, Fremen. I'd been calling them Freemen.
Mm-hmm.
See, and when you think about, it kind of makes sense. They, were not part of the Empire. They fought against the Empire. I kind of, so I'm sure that there was an intent there, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, the corruption. Yeah, definitely the corruption of the word enough that it still kind of had a meaning, but it's not Freeman. It's Fremen.
Fremen. Yeah. So now we could be unified on the pronunciation of Baron Orman Tagge. It'll take me a while to get used to because we're talking over 40 years of me thinking it was Tage. Tage was the way I was reading it all these years.
And to be honest with you, I might be wrong. The original writer might have a different, but I've always heard it Tagge, so that's the way I
Doesn't matter. It's Tagge now because you've decided and you're using it, so that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Now, as I recall, he was a non-force user who had a lightsaber. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, he was.
I thought that was cool too. That was again a precursor to what was that dude from the prequels with the 4 arms, the robot guy?
Oh, Grievous, General Grievous.
Yeah, General Grievous. Yeah, kind of like that. So yeah. I mean, the Marvel comics. If you haven't read those. I think there's a lot of things that were drawn on by other writers. Another character, one of my favorites, Lady Lumia, who I feel was a precursor to Mara Jade. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of elements of Mara Jade in there.
Mm-hmm. If Mara Jade stayed bad.
If Mara Jade had stayed bad. Yeah, exactly. And I see that in later EU stories, they both characters coexisted in the same universe, and I'm like, if we got a Mara Jade in the new Star Wars and she became some sort of an amalgamation of Lumia and Mara Jade, I probably would be okay with that. But
I don't think it would happen.
I think you're absolutely right.
The people who claim that they know so much about Star Wars don't seem to, and that includes Pablum Hidalgo, who should be absolutely ashamed of himself for who he is, because he used to be great with his history and knowledge of Star Wars. He wrote some of my favorite articles in the West End Games Star Wars Adventure Journals for the role-playing game.
Yes, I have all of them. Yep.
Highlight Rose, who is the president and sole member of the Phil McCracken fan club, just to let you know. But yeah, I got all those, and all the books I have from the West End game, because I tell you, that was the time, man. That was the time. Where was I going with this? But Pablo Hidalgo is someone who should know, and he turns into this absolute toady. Toady who goes out and abuses fans. It's like, excuse me. What, and I guess of all the people out there, everyone screams KK and stuff like that, the biggest knife in my heart is him. And it's like, it's not just KK, it's numbskulls like him. And yeah, they start grabbing into the Marvel universe, but they frill it up. They absolutely frill it up. I mean, they brought back Tagge in the new one. They brought back Valance the Bounty Hunter, who was another great favorite of mine. Only made 3 appearances in the original run, but boy, talk about one bad dude of a bounty hunter. And this was before, of course, Boba Fett. And they brought him back, and they absolutely, again, ruined the character. It's like, will you quit touching things and turning it into poo? I stop it now. Go away. Leave my heroes alone.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I have to say that although he brings very little, in my opinion, and less the more he's involved, to Star Wars, Dave Filoni, the one thing that I do like about him is that he does have this tendency to canonize things that I did love from the EU. That you see a lot of it in the cartoon series that he does and whatnot. That first season of Mandalorian, when stormtroopers show up in the troop transport.
Yep.
I was like, yes! And I knew that meant that Hasbro was going to be re-releasing that, because I never had one as a kid, and I was like, yes!
Yes,
You know,
unfortunately,
stuff like that.
I'm his enabler, so
And-
that means he
yes.
gets a lot of toys.
She gets, yeah.
Now, you had been talking about funny things that happen at cons. I've got one for you.
Uh-oh.
Troy and I are Klingons, and we've
Right.
done quite a few Klingon conventions. Well, there was one we went to where we had all of our gear in our bug-out bags. And so my ID and everything was at the bottom of my bag. So we go to the table to get our IDs.
Oh,
And,
yeah, I remember this.
And the lady's like, well, can I have your ID? And I was like, it's at the bottom of my bag. And I see the program sitting right there with, oh, where'd it go? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, where'd it go? What do you mean device not connected?
Oh, your phone?
No,
Oh!
it deleted me. My
You
thing
just
says-
left StreamYard.
I'm innocent this time, folks.
It's a good thing she's coming through
No.
my mic, because technically she's
Yeah.
still here.
Yeah, it says device
Yeah.
is not connected. It like completely removed me.
She's a force ghost now.
Anyway, I opened up the program, and there's a picture of a Klingon there. Pointed to the picture, said, "Will this do?" And the girl looks at it, she goes, "That's you? Can I have your autograph?"
Jeez.
She didn't recognize me without my bumps. I'm going to try to get back into StreamYard because it's telling me I don't exist.
Okay. Yeah, you know what?
If you have to, shut down your whole browser. It's not like when other people fall out of StreamYard, because she's coming through my mic. She's
Yeah,
kind of
thank
still
you.
here
Yeah.
with us, you know.
Yeah, and go back to not to put any salt in the wound at all, Troy, but I got my troop transport in the closet over there.
The original one with
The original one. Mm-hmm.
Does it-
the original one?
Does it still make the sounds?
I'm sure if I put the batteries in it would, because it was a record that they put in there.
That's exactly right. I was going to say that Toy Polloy has a how to fix it.
Okay, it was this picture.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
And I can now shut down the other one because now I'm back up.
And you're out again.
Okay.
But-
What the heck did it just do? Reopen,
But just to
close
let you
tab.
know, the great thing of sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, the one thing about that armored, troop carrier, troop transport,
Yeah.
that was the first EU toy made. Because it was
You
based
are
on
right,
nothing.
because that
Yeah.
predates the mini rigs and stuff like that. Which
That is correct.
a lot of those mini rigs now have been canonized as well. Because of the cartoon. Well, some of the cartoon. Actually, this goes before Filoni. This goes back to the droids and Ewoks. Canonized some of. Assuming you even consider those to be canon, but they showed those some of those mini rigs.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
that is- like,
There was one, and I forget what they called these mini, but there was one that was it had two little suction cups, and and it had little tools for fixing your X-wing and stuff. And back in the day, I had to have that in order for in Empire Strikes Back, Chewbacca and Han Solo to be sitting on the Millennium Falcon fixing it, because those were the only tools you had. We didn't have 12 different versions of these action figures. They came with all kinds of different, accessories like we do today.
No, not at all. In fact, there was a time there where if you sent in enough proof of purchases, you could get like a supply pack where they'd send you so many of the backpacks, so many blasters, blaster rifles, the gas masks.
Yeah, I got it. I love that. That's where I got those. So let me give me a second. You should all see wavy lines as I'm doing a flashback. So you got three. Yeah, you got three backpacks for the Rebel troopers. You got the blue backpack that Luke carried Yoda in.
Yep.
You got an assortment of weapons that had been previously released with other Empire Strikes Back figures.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was three of the masks that the Millennium Falcon crew puts on when they go out into the asteroid that turns out to be the space slug. And Am I missing anything? Oh,
Uh,
the belt with the grappling hook for Luke from Star Wars. And yeah, well, which he also, I guess in a way, you're also, I think they were trying to do both Star Wars and the swing thing, as well as the Empire winch himself up to the AT-AT thing. But yeah, I thought that was so great. I wish they had done more of those. And then when the prequels came out, they actually started selling in the stores these packs. And I got every single one of them because I was like, this is fabulous,
I picked up a few of those too, especially when they were on sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me break in here one sec. I can see that people are subbing to one another. That's fantastic. Please keep doing that. And please check that if you think you are subbed to someone, you are still subbed to them because YouTube. And if you see a name you don't recognize, check and see if you're subbed to them. And please sub to that person. And especially sub to our guest tonight.
Right.
He's at 156 subs right now. Let's see if we can get them up over 160. Come on, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And one other thing. Yeah, there you go. And one other thing, guys. If you're going to be kind enough to subscribe to someone else, do that person a huge favor. Go back the next day and double check that you're still subscribed.
Yeah.
Seriously, I was just on another channel the other day. I got a bunch of extra subs. And, I got to 650. And then I lost 2 of them literally overnight. And if those 2 people don't go back and check, they won't even notice that they're no longer subscribed.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I've had that happen where it's like, wait a moment. How am I not subbed to you? I know I subbed to you. In fact, Smoking Patriot, it's like I go across there. I'm trying to find him on my list. It's like, where is he? Where is he? So I finally find him. It's like, what do you mean I'm not subbed to him? I am subbed to him. So I had to resub.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
It made me mad and I took it back. But that's
I have been, and I told this story a couple times on my channel. I have been subscribed to Retro Blasting for years. I am a member of his Patreon, and I noticed that he would come up in my feed all the time, but I was never getting the notifications. I go to his channel and I realize I'm not subscribed. I'm like, bull crap, I know I was subscribed. So anyway, when people say double check and make sure you're still subscribed, it's a real thing. Do it.
Yeah, it's like I was unsubbed from Orville Nation and Adega Outlaw, and I had to go back and resub to them. And it's like, I've always been subbed to them. What do you mean I'm not subbed anymore?
Yeah.
So yes, please go back and check that you're still subbed to people. And like I said, make sure you're subbed to everybody in the chat and to our guest. Together we grow. Orville Nation always says that. Together we grow. And that's part of why I have guests on my Thursday things, is to help them talk about their channel. You can learn more about them and help them to grow.
Now you're going to make it work. You guys start subbing. I'm going to have to work and actually start working and put videos out and do streaming. Don't do that to me, folks.
Well,
I don't want to work.
And that kind of pivots me back to what the other thing that I was going to ask you, Baron. So you're on a number of channels. Who are your present company accepted, of course? who are your favorite YouTubers?
Oh, is Mike in the chat? Mike, are you in the chat? If he's in the chat, I gotta say him. No.
I know a couple of mics, so which one?
Yeah, I was going to say, which mic?
Well, it could be the Pacific or Mexican Iron Man.
Yeah, that's true. He's not a YouTuber. He'll tell you that.
Mexican Iron Man isn't Mike, though. He's Mikey.
He's Mikey,
Mikey. I adore Mikey.
Yeah, he's Darth Dookie, or I think that's what he is, Darth Dookie. I think that's what Coach calls him. But, I mean, obviously, the people that I work with really are some of my favorite ones, because I don't think I'd be able to work with them if they weren't. Whether it's Mike Gas Money, or 24/7 Fusion Media, Vigilante Williamson, and of course New Bomb Turk. I mean, those are the ones where I'm actually, if you want to call it full-time staff or full-time co-host. I mean, I really, Gary Cassell sometimes has a good show there. I do go on his show too, as well as Raymond Feliciano with his King Dolphin TV. I mean, I like all those. I like Doomcock, not because of the rumor mill, but because he puts a damn good show on Friday. He really does, and
Yeah.
he offers much more than just the KK is going today type of thing. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, if we could see him, he'd probably dance for us, type of thing. So, and how? Just a second here. I'm about ready to kill an orange cat. El Diablo Gato, get out of here. How do you get out? How do you get out of here?
Appropriately named.
Well,
No,
so
his name is
I
actually
discovered that Doomcock can sing.
Yeah.
And he's got a nice voice.
he does have a great voice, which is why it's fun to listen to him. And sometimes you catch yourself singing along or whatever, some of the songs on there. And actually, this cat is my stepdaughter's. His name is Obi Fluff Kenobi.
Obi Fluff Kenobi.
Right. I didn't name him. I don't like this cat. This cat's an a-hole. And he actually does come to a-hole when we yell it. Of course, the full word. But, of course, I've also come to call him El Diablo Gato as well.
There you
for some
go.
reason, he likes me. He's here trying to, all over the place, knocking stuff over, trying to get lovin's from me. My cat, Mouse, the infamous Mouse, is probably on the other side going, I'm going to kill that cat. I'm going to kill my human, too. That two-timer.
Well, I told Troy, eventually we're going to get a dog. I promised him that we can get a dog at some point, so we're going to get a dog. But I told him I get to name it. And I'm going to name it Rexacorca Felpatorius.
Oh. Rex for short, I hope.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Rexy.
Won't understand anything but Rex.
Except for when we take it to the vet, I'm going to insist that they call it by the full name.
Oh, jeez. And real quick before we move away from the topic, so make sure not only that you go to the Baron's channel and subscribe to him, but then check out his channels. He's got listed he's using his platform the correct way. So this question I ask, I knew the answer to because on his channels page, he's got listed all the channels that he likes, that he thinks you would like as well, the ones that he works with, he's affiliated with. Check out his About tab, where you will see the links to his Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and so forth.
That was the cat, by the way. Sorry.
No, yeah, we've come to expect that of the cats, but
Well, at least you're not on camera, and it's walked in front of the camera and then turned its butt around.
Oh, Mouse does that. Yeah, Mouse was known to do the walk around and show off his fluffy butt when I had the camera. So, yeah.
Look at my starburst.
Yeah.
This happens to this one guy at work. Whenever we're on our team meeting, his cat will walk across his desk, turn around, and just moon us.
Yeah. And he's doing that right now. If there was a camera, you would have seen Obi's. When he goes, I'm going to have him taxidermed and then turn that spot into a pencil sharpener. That helped take a lot of frustration off of me that he gave me through his life.
That is so funny. I love that. That is awesome. Okay, we're in the home stretch on the show here, so
So let me ask another question here.
Yeah.
Where do you see your channel heading?
Right.
If I get off my lazy butt. And that kind of goes into one. I think it kind of goes similar to what Mikey Darth Dookie asked me. He goes, "What's your intent for your channel?" And I said, "To have fun."
Yeah.
Where do I see myself?
Yeah.
Hopefully having a ton of fun. He goes, "Yeah, that's right," because YouTubers come in with that wrong attitude that they're going to be making all this money. I don't care if I make money or not. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm doing this and all of a sudden I start seeing a check, it's like, oh, okay, great. I get to have a hobby that I get paid for once.
Right.
If I don't, that's great. Like I said, I like drifting off of all these other channels and being guests there. I got the tab of the shows I've been on, which is, sure, it's ego stroking, but you got a direct link to a show that I was on. You can see what these people are doing on their channels as well. That's not part of what I usually do. This is me living vicariously my youth of being a DJ, and I hope 5 years from now you'll hear my dulcet voice coming across the YouTube verse here, and continue on, and people actually still like me. You never know. And I hope I still a part of these teams. Like I told 24/7, because he was the first show I'm on. I said I don't care how big I get here. I don't care. I'm never going to leave this show. I mean, it's like you gave me my break, and we're friends, we're pals. I mean, who would do that to to a friend? It's especially in business. Like, yeah, obviously you're going to go out there and maybe make it big somewhere, but are you going to do it by stepping on the people that helped you or you're with and who are your friends? No. I guess one of the reasons why I kind of pulled back from doing a lot of my stuff is because I've been helping a lot of other people. Mike at Pop Talk, and of course 24/7 with the Primetime Kings, and I found that so much more fun and relaxing because I can just sit back and be me, or be the gregarious me, the Joe Gatto me. Larry. So that's where I want to be, and I also made to myself, if I do, start hitting it, and people start doing super chats and all that, I'm still going to do what I was doing. I'm not going to change it because why? That's the formula that got you there. And if you're not true to who you are, then why do it? Why do it?
Yeah.
I mean, even it might seem like I'm acting when I'm going from one to another. It's not. It's just different facets of my personality. It's like I know I can kick back and be outrageous here. I know I have to be this barren over here. And so it's like you do that. You keep your mind sharp, and it's like, okay, now I got to change gears and let the other facets out, and hopefully not go too crazy with multiple personality disorder. That a lot of people in the seem to have out there.
Exactly.
Especially in this industry, it's like, who am I? It's like, well, be yourself. Be yourself. It's just.
I think that's exactly it. Have fun. Be yourself.
I mean, and something like this, and especially on some channels, I'll say things that there's no way in hell I'd be doing it. No way, none. Right. But the fact is this is I don't have my face on until I get my camera back. But this is like a theater of mind. I can come up with these wild things and crazy things out of my mind, and it's what you guys imagine. What's going on in that void that he calls a brain? It's like, how many of those stickers did you lick when you were a kid? Type of thing.
Right.
But that's what's nice. I mean, just sitting back, just chilling is so much fun, having the conversation. It's actually nice being on the other side of the microphone and being the guest in a situation like this, where I'm normally the one that's asking the questions.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, you usually are on the other side of this. No kidding.
Right.
Yeah.
So my point is to make sure you say as little as possible. It sounds bad. It sounds horrible. But that's exactly what it is with something like that. It's like, okay, you guys know me. It's time for you to know this person here. It's like, and that's what's great.
The best thing about interview. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say the best thing about interviewing somebody is when they have that gift of gab, right? I mean, what really makes the difference between someone who's going to be doing a pretty decent job on the YouTubes and maybe not is, do you feel comfortable just talking? If you were alone, if you were planning on being on a stream and no one showed up, would you be able to fill up an hour just you yourself talking? And some people just can't. And to interview those kinds of people, it can be difficult. It's like, oh my gosh, the worst is if you're interviewing someone, you ask them a question, and they answer yes.
Yep.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they don't expound.
It's like, can you elaborate on that a little bit, please? You are an interviewer's dream. I ask you a question, you'll just go on, and it's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yes, but he's not Ilya Susskind bad.
Oh yeah. So for those of you that are Superman fans, Ilya Sulkide, we met in Metropolis, Illinois.
Oh.
And he, huh?
I've been there.
Yeah, it's great. And we've all seen conventions, or at least footage of them, and so forth. And so you know how these celebrities do their Q&As, right? And they'll point to somebody in the audience with their hand up, ask them a question, they answer you, and they try to get as many in as possible. He filled up a whole hour asking one question, and it was a very simple question, and he just went on and on and on talking about whatever the heck he felt like had nothing to do with the question he was asking. And he was like, "Okay, well, we're out of time now," and everyone's like, "The hell!"
And I think the question was something like, what inspired your first film or something.
Yeah, we got his whole history and, everything he'd ever done, and now he's growing up and his dad. And so, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I never want to be anywhere with this guy again.
Yeah, that's a story for another time, but we got some stuff we can
as
talk
we are
about.
wrapping up, do you have anything coming up that you want to tell our audience about?
Well, I'm hoping to bother the people over at the KD TV, also known as King Dolphin TV, on Saturday in the pod there. It's usually just it's just an informal, just people getting together, having a good time, and a little bit more gregarious than this setting. But it's a bunch of guys getting together, they're friends, and sometimes going overboard a little bit. Of course, Budgie the Hedgehog is there, and amongst the others, Wendy Webb, and a lot of Fit for Hire. Those guys is great there. I just come on as a guest panelist now and then. I should make more of an effort. I'm sorry. I'm so very, very sorry. Of course, Sundays and Wednesday with the Mike at Pacific 414 for the Pop Talk. We've been doing something new now. On Wednesdays, we do 2 hours on 3 services, which is, of course, YouTube, Kick, and Rumble. Then we have our uncensored show on Rumble for the last hour. And that's where we can cut loose and say the things that YouTube will not let us say. And that was interesting last night. That was our second time doing it. Cash Money was the first one that went into the tinfoil hat area. I thought it was going to be me. I knew it. But actually, I had my chance yesterday. So the person you would suspect would be the first one off the bus, going off the rails would be me. No, I was actually. It's like, what is this? I'm wild on the regular show, but we come to this show, I become this, tight ass. For lack of a word. It's like it's mirror world.
I'll tell you what. If the past 5 years have taught us anything, it's that the people wearing the tinfoil hats were more right more often than we realized.
Oh yeah. Not only that, but I could also get Jazz FM off of it too. And of course, my first tenure, and I'm very proud of it. Of course, Sundays as well. So Mike is noon Central Standard Time on Sundays. 5 o'clock Central Standard Time on Wednesdays is when Pop Talk happens. 5 o'clock Central Standard Time at 24/7 Fusion Media. It is, of course, the Tower of Power himself, 24/7 Fusion Media. It is Vigilante Williamson, the ever mysterious one, cruising in his hot rod, his new bomb Turk from the Hollywood Knights, and myself. We do the Primetime Kings of live stream, and yeah, you don't know what's going to happen on that show, so.
That's always good. Yeah, you are a busy guy. That is one thing I can definitely say. If we're pitching your channel, it's not just your channel we're pitching. It's everyone that you're associated with. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and I'm proud of being associated with these people. It's like they're a great group of friends. We love each other. Something. Oh, a Saturday as well. I don't want to miss this one up because I've been giving Lord Crit of Everest Production, or as we say, Ever Ass. We're going to be doing our part 2 of the first season, talking about Babylon 5's first season.
Good stuff.
Right. I'm a huge Babylon 5 fan. I think it's going to be 8 o'clock on Lord Crit's Everest Productions.
Good.
We had the first half. That was great. And that usually consists, of course, Lord Crit, Pacific, Cash Money, myself. And this time we're also going to have Spock join us. So.
Good. Awesome. Wow, you're a busy guy, you know?
Actually, I pulled back quite a bit. There were days when I got off. It's like, wow, I did 10, 12 hours of live streaming between 3, 4 different channels. And it's like, I wonder why I'm tired.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think about that. I think about, you know, people like Deleted Scenes, Mikey the Mexican Iron Man. It's like, you know, my gosh, they're on all the time. It's like, but you know what? That's great. I mean, you know, you can't have too much of a good thing, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
But
we might have some gaming streams popping up here. We've been doing. We're going to be probably doing Warhammer Vermintide 2 coming up here. Cash Money, myself, and Mike. That'll be over at the Phantom Hooligans. Actually, the Phantom Hooligans, but we like to call it Hooligans just to drive them crazy.
Like that.
And so that might be showing up this week or not. It's like I'll just have to wait.
Good. So speaking of gaming, yeah, I am not at the point yet where I'm going to start streaming any gaming. But what I am doing is I am starting a series on my channel, and I've already got up the prologue and the first chapter. The first chapter was published yesterday of a long-running D&D adventure, the Savage Tide, that I ran
with fire trolls.
Yeah, ours is with fire trolls.
Oh, you're mean.
Yeah. Which I am dramatizing and putting out on my channel, and I've gotten some great feedback. Definitely check that out on my channel. But tomorrow night, regular time, every Friday night is Last Call at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. But tomorrow night will be a little bit ranty, maybe a little bit socio-political, which I don't usually do, but I'm going to go off on a bit of a rant. Why Barbie is worse than you think. And you might want to strap in and maybe make sure you front load with whatever it is you're going to be sipping on, because it's going to be a bumpy ride.
And what are you going to be sipping on, sweetie?
Don't know. Got to talk to you, because somebody bought me a drink, and I'm going to have to put together my dedication for him, so we'll figure that out between now and the time that we go live tomorrow. But that is tomorrow night on my channel, and then Saturday over on Big Al Presents Films with Friends. A very rare occasion where Netter and I will not be there. We will be hanging out with Evelyn Hampton in real life for a long overdue Klingon gathering at her place. But over on Big Al Presents Films with Friends, his special guests will be Deleted Scenes and Wolf 10 Media. They will be watching The War of the Gargantuas. Netter and I will, of course, have to catch that on the rewatch, but I'm going to have to get a copy of that movie, because I never even heard about it before he started talking about it. So,
well, here's one of them right here.
It's part of
There's one
Kaiju
them right
Live.
well, there you
That's
go.
one right
There you go.
There's one of your gargantuas.
Good. Yeah, exactly. Well, that is scary. That is scary, right?
And
That
fighting that.
that is a kaiju for you. Very scary stuff. Get in my belly.
Yep. We've been talking about doing an Austin Powers a watch party here. We need to do that.
That would be fun. I'll look forward to that. Sunday, of course, our Sunday starts out 7 Central, 8 Eastern with
Deleted Scenes.
Unscripted with Deleted Scenes. I don't see a topic yet posted, but it will be episode 24 on his channel. And it's always a great lead-in to, of course, Aged Boomer, Geeky Geezers, 8 Central, 9 Eastern over on his channel, where we bring you the week's geek news, at least the stuff that we found interesting. And if it's the same topic you've seen on other channels, we're probably going to bring a very, very, very different perspective than most of the channels you are following. So make sure you check them out. Wow, Max World Entertainment Just wanted to pop in and say hello and say that I love Troy Pacelli and Netters Network. You are awesome, Trey. Thank you so much. If you are especially a Trek fan, but if you are a fan of fandom and the very concept of fan films, and you are not subscribed to Max World Entertainment, what's wrong with you? You're missing out. Get over there and subscribe to his channel, because he'll keep you in the loop and in the know on those fan films, and he does constant rewatches of some of the best Star Trek fan films, some Star Wars. He does really good. He basically does everything. He's we keep complaining about the franchises that we're getting from the big IP owners. The fan films are the fans doing it for themselves. So,
and a lot of times the people putting these fan films together are in his chat, so you can ask them questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then just wrapping up real quick, after Geeky Geezers on Sunday, then jump back over to Deleted Scenes, where he will be rounding out the evening, the other side of midnight, a nice wind down before you end your weekend. Definitely check that out. And that's all I see on our docket until we get back to next Thursday. Who is your special guest next Thursday, Netter of Netters Network?
You!
Me? Wow!
Because it is a very special day. It's Troy and my 31st wedding anniversary.
Yep.
And you're all invited to come back here and help celebrate with us.
And sing happy anniversary, happy anniversary,
happy
anniversary, happy anniversary. I may have to clip that for next week, but yeah, absolutely.
You never know.
But anyway, that's all I got, Netter.
And you say I'm busy?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, jeez.
Well, yeah, we try to keep busy. On top of the 9 to 5 that we also have.
Absolutely.
But you know what I always say at the end of my streams? We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments and your questions and your trivia and just being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all just hanging out in the same room and enjoying each other's company and having a really great time. And you're not just our friends. You're our family. And I really mean that. You are our family. And we love you guys. You can choose to be anywhere right now, and you are here with us. And that is so encouraging.
Yeah.
And that's why I also say, make sure that you're sub to one another, because together we grow. Just like Orville Nation always says.
Yep.
Together we grow. But I want to thank you guys so much for being here. And Left Chick Productions just popped in. Hi. But I just want to thank you all for being here. And we will definitely all see you next time.